On Sunday, Dominic Canzone and Donovan Solano each hit a double dong to lead the Mariners to tie a season high at 14 runs and set a season high at 18 hits. Welcome to the Dom Skeen channel, your one-stop shop for the Mariners storylines on Seattle's minds. And the Mariners win the series by winning on Sunday in the rubber match 14-6 over the Chicago Cubs, who had been one of the league's hottest offenses coming into this series and still produced in the series. There was more than 45 runs, I want to say almost 50 runs total scored in this series, 20 in the rubber match alone, 28 total hits. But the Mariners did get the better of the Cubs on expected batting average at 350 to 195. And looking at this game, as I turned it on in the first inning, Cal homers early, and from that moment, then also you have the Cubs putting up a homer early. And after I saw the first two homers in this game, I think it was, Seiya Suzuki hit one as well. After I saw both of those in the first inning, I said, there's going to be at least 10. This is the game that could have 10 homers. You know, you don't really see 10 homers in a game too often, but I was like, just based on the way the ball is traveling today, I see 10 homers incoming, possibly. Now, it ended up being 9, but so many home runs in this game. Two Mariners coming into today that had hit 1 home run on the season, hit 2 in this game alone. And I'm talking, of course, about Donovan Solano. Another 3-hit effort, 3 hits in each game of this series, going 3 for 5, 2 bombs, 2 runs scored, 5 RBIs. He's now up to 257 with a 666 OPS on the season. Then Dominic Canzone, 3 for 5, 2 runs scored, 2 homers, and 2 RBI. He is now batting 286 with a 942 OPS in the limited sample size that we've seen him. Miles Mastrobuoni also went 3 for 4. So when you get 3 hits from each player in the bottom of 3 of your lineup, you're in for a good days in store for sure offensively. Everybody got in on the action. Only player not to get a hit in the Mariners lineup was Mitch Garver. He went 0 for 4, but still scored a run and walked once to his 1 strikeout. So even he's over the Mendoza line. The Mariners now, I can say comfortably, everyone's over the Mendoza line. So knock on wood that continues, but it's a great sign of, right now. JP going 2 for 6, just setting the table excellently. And then Cal going 2 for 3, 3 runs scored, 2 walks, no strikeouts, 2 RBIs, and another homer. Cal, is just unprecedented. 31 homers now. Who's to say it won't be 32 tonight? He is only 17 homers, I want to say, away from setting the single season record by a player that primarily played catcher. And most of those players on that list were playing DH as well a lot. But Cal, a platinum glove defender. We are going to need to have this conversation about how many points of batting average is, can Cal make up, to match, if we're trying to, put Aaron Judge and Cal Raleigh against each other for the American League MVP. If Aaron Judge has if he's hitting 367 coming today, I believe. So if he had 90 points of batting average on Cal's 276, 91 points, how many exactly points of batting average is all of Cal's catching worth? Because Cal, not only is he a catcher, that is the hardest defensive position in baseball, and the hardest to fill with a good hitter as well. But he's also, and not only is he a Gold Glove winner at catcher, the best defensive catcher in all of baseball, but he is a Platinum Glove winner at catcher, the best defender in all of baseball at the most premium defensive position. And also leading the MLB in homers. So he's got a few homers on Judge. I think now it's 31 to 27, maybe 28. I can't remember. I think it's 28 because Judge just hit one in the first inning in Cincinnati today. Still got a 3-homer lead that he could keep extending tonight. But we're going to have that talk because Cal is going to be up there with Judge in pretty much everything else. He's going to beat him in stolen bases as well. 10 to 20 stolen bases. If he goes, obviously, and now here's the real question we have to ask: how does this whole thing end? Because we can discuss right now who should win American League MVP. My question is, how many points of batting average, is all of Cal's catching worth? Because you could say 91, maybe it's not worth 91, but it's at least worth 50 It's at least worth 60. Even if Judge hits 350, if Cal hits 276 and does everything behind the plate so well, goes 60-20 as a catcher, 60 homers, 20 stolen bases, I think it's pretty clear that you got to give it to the best one of the best catching seasons ever and the best offensive catching season of all time at that rate. If a catcher hits 60 homers, Judge is going to have to hit 65 or 66. And obviously, the odds of these guys getting to the 60 mark is so low. I mean, there's so many hitters that have gone on a very, on tears through, especially in the summer. But to keep this up and to get to 60, or Cal is on pace for more than 60, I find it likely that there will be some streaks without a homer and stuff. But then again, when you look at what Cal does, the way that he gets behind the ball and the adjustments that they made, having him take just a smaller step, it's all working incredibly well. So this game, from an offensive standpoint, the best one you've seen all year, not just from the top of the lineup, but because the bottom of the lineup, giving you not just a great game and a great series, but reasons to be optimistic going forward. And Donovan Solano, somebody that a month ago 90% of fans would have said is probably going to be off the team by the end of the month, is going to be your everyday first baseman, especially when we're facing righties. Maybe he'll get moved out when we're facing lefties sometimes. But Solano, an excellent day at the plate. And then I also want to talk about his post-game press conference, because he is so well-spoken, even though he's got he's got really heavy accent. He has just a little bit of trouble speaking perfect English, because it's not his first language. He gets across so much in terms of just belief in himself, believe in God. He admitted, I had a horrible April, but I'm just excited to be able to help the team now. And I always believed in myself, and I knew that I had it. He has so much self-awareness. He seems like an excellent guy in the clubhouse, and I'm becoming a big Donovan Solano fan. Words that I did not expect myself to say. Oh, and I think Judge just hit it to the warning track again. Was just a few feet away from having homer number 29. So obviously he knows what Cal's doing and is pushing to catch up with him. Anyway, we're jumping around a little bit. Bear with me. I know the game has just started in Minnesota as well. And Bailey Ober is absolutely broken right now. A guy that I foolishly picked to win the AL Cy Young. Yes, I was foolish. His skills are so loud, noisy, and uncomfortable, even when they're going well as a pitcher, that when they blow up for a lot more than just the 3 starts they did last year, and now he's got to have at least 5 to 10 bad starts. I just have to say, I think I was wrong in the fact that he couldn't just get rid of his 3 bad starts. That's who he is an inconsistent guy who is down to have blow-ups, who's bound to have some blow-ups. Anyway, moving back to this game, one other thing I want to talk about, the pitching matchup between Logan and Colin Ray. Logan, gets 18 swinging strikes on 90 pitches, does an excellent job in this game. His line doesn't necessarily show that. He goes 5 innings, gives up 4 earned runs on 8 hits, strikes out 6, doesn't walk anybody, and allows the 3 homers. His ERA is now up to 3.12. But it's really nothing to be worried about, because you consider, and this is why I put the final title of this video as "When in Wrigley," because when in Rome, do as the Romans, and when in Wrigley, do as the Cubbies. I mean, Logan Gilbert went out there and he gave you a chance to win this game, despite allowing 8 hits, 4 runs on 8 hits through 5. He didn't walk anybody. He struck out more than a guy per inning, and he only got hard hit 5 times, and 3 of the 5 hard hits ended up being homers. So this is just extreme fly ball circumstances for Gilbert. We know that he's a guy with a premier fastball, but he's also a guy that loves to challenge hitters and mix in all the secondaries. And when he really is, pushing for the strikeouts, this type of thing happens. There's some loud contact. He's been great at preventing this year, but he hasn't yet pitched in 95 degrees in Wrigley Field with the wind blowing out. There's very few more favorable scenarios in all of baseball for a hitter than that. And so Logan Gilbert, that 4 earned runs on 8 hits is actually could have been a way worse if he was walking people, if he wasn't striking out guys at a very high clip. And clearly, he did with his pitches, he had quite a bit of control. It's just that a few of them, they connect with a few of them, and the ball was absolutely flying. So expect, if Gilbert is in the hottest, most hitter-friendly park, then there's a chance he's going to give up some loud contact. But you look over to the other side and see what somebody that's not of Gilbert's caliber would do in this offensive environment. And you look at Colin Ray, goes 5.1 innings. He allows 7 earned runs on 11 hits, just 2 strikeouts to 1 walk, and allows 4 homers on, this has got to be, it's not a record, 12 hard hits. I think that at least ties a record this year for a starter pitching against the Mariners. 12 hard hits against him, just 2 strikeouts to 1 walk. Again, 7 runs on 11 hits, and 4 homers on 89 pitches. Obviously, Cal in the first inning, it's hard to say that's Colin Ray's fault. You're going up against one of the best baseball players in the world. He punishes everybody. But Colin Ray certainly wasn't ready for that matchup. And then Solano and Canzone really hitting the ball hard. I think it was Solano's second came off the Chris Flexen, which we will talk about in a minute. Guy I really have a soft spot for. But then, with Ray, you look at his actual breakdown as well, and you see that he only had 9 swinging strikes on 89 pitches, half of what Gilbert had on 1 less pitch. And his arsenal, he's throwing 6 different pitches. They're all getting hit extremely hard, every single one with an average exit velocity of 90 or above. And you can say, quality of contact takes a long time to normalize. In this scenario, it doesn't matter what type of fly ball pitcher you are. You're going to allow some hard stuff. And it looks like, Colin Ray is not one to limit it as is. He's kind of a crafty guy who, plays. He is not somebody who is throwing it at you, expecting you to make contact and expecting it to be weak. But he is somebody who is throwing to you, expecting that you might not make contact, and that when he's a 6-pitch guy who doesn't have anything that gets hit that soft, and he doesn't get a lot of whiffs. So, you got the worst of slinker, slider, tinker type stuff, but he looks pretty traditional on the surface with 28% four-seamer, 19% sweeper, 18% splitter, 15% sinker, 15% slider, 6% curveball. But he just doesn't have the juice, to go up there and prevent hard contact. He's not. I think he is a step below the Bailey Obers and the Zach Eflins of the world in that regard. And that's really the main thing I wanted to talk about now. We've got our game going on today, and 0-0, bottom of the first, 1 out. Going to go ahead and get into this one. I will see you guys tomorrow. Go Ams.